So hello everyone, it's day 17 and I have March 20th, 2024 Indian Express explained page. So there are two important articles that I can see here on this page, that is behind and beyond the water crisis in Bengaluru, the Bengaluru which is facing that water crisis, and another is does retweeting allegedly defamatory content amount to defamation. So this is about defamation. So we will see both of these articles one by one. So this article, first article, what it says that first article says that while the spotlight is on Bangalore, much of the Karnataka and its neighbors are facing water scarcity. What the reasons include poor monsoon and the nature of aquifers. So let us see what are the issues that are involved in that water crisis. So March 22 is being celebrated as the World Water Day. So let us see what it says. This article says, so an acute drinking water crisis in Bangalore has been creating international headlines for the past few days. On Monday, Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah said Bangalore was facing a shortage of 500 million liters of water every day, which is about a fifth of city's daily total demand. The CM said arrangements were being made for additional supplies for Bengaluru. However, the shortage of water is not restricted to Bengaluru, and neither it is only a drinking water problem. The entire state of Karnataka, as also the adjoining areas of Telangana and Maharashtra, are facing water scarcity. Much of this has to do with the lower than normal rainfall in this area in the last 1 year and the nature of underground aquifers in the region. So why the water shortage? So during the 2023 monsoon, Karnataka received rainfall that was 18% below normal, below normal, the least since 2015. Even the post monsoon period did not bring much rain here, like most other parts of the country. Karnataka receives one bulk of its annual rainfall during the monsoon, and it is this water that fills up the reservoirs and recharges the aquifers. A rainfall deficit in the monsoon months almost inevitably results in the water stress. So, Karnataka was not the only state to receive below normal rainfall last monsoon. Kerala, for example, finished the season with a 34% deficit. Bihar, Jharkhand, and eastern Uttar Pradesh had almost 25% deficit each. However, what makes the difference in the case of Karnataka, as pointed out by Vimal Mishra, a professor of civil engineering and earth sciences at IIT Gandhinagar, is the nature of the underground aquifers in the area. South India has very different kind of aquifer system. It is very rocky. The aquifers didn't hold a lot of water. They empty out quickly, and they also get recharged pretty quickly. What this means is that underground water resources are not able to sustain for very long in the event of prolonged dry spell. So this is very different from the aquifers in North India, which has a much better capacity to hold water. This is why Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, which got even less rainfall last year than Karnataka, have not seen similar water scarcity. So the Mishra, the Vikram Sarabhai Chair Professor at IIT Gandhinagar said, okay, aquifers in North India, once full, can hold enough water to sustain the demand for a couple of years, he said. So falling reservoir levels. Another direct consequences of low rainfall has been the relatively low level of water in reservoirs. Latest data from the Central Water Commission shows that so this is Central Water Commission. It is formed under Environment Protection Act 1986. So this is a statutory body. Show that the Karnataka reservoirs are currently holding water at only 26% of their full capacity, which is at least 10 percentage point lower than what is expected at this time of the year. So instead of the nearly 8.8 billion cubic meters of water that is expected in Karnataka's reservoir at this time of year, only 6.5 billion cubic meters is currently available, and this is depleting steadily. A month earlier, the state's reservoirs were holding 7.78 billion cubic meters of water. Central Water Commission data shows. So again, it is not just Karnataka's reservoir that have been below normal water levels. Other states in southern India are facing same problem, with Telangana being in a far worse situation. But the demands in Karnataka are different, and its reservoirs are depleting faster than those of neighboring states. The state is being forced to draw more than more from the reserves even before the start of the summer season. Roughly about half of the Bengaluru get its drinking water through piped supply. The remaining half mostly uses groundwater for drinking purposes. The areas that have piped supply are not facing much disruption because of this water because this water is coming from the reservoirs. In these kinds of situations, when the rainfall has been scanty and reservoir levels are low, the tendency of the government is to prioritize drinking water needs, especially in the urban areas. In its parts of Bengaluru that are dependent on groundwater, that the drinking water problem seems most acute, Mishra said. As summer rolls in, the state might be staring at an even bigger water crisis as the demand goes up, not just from households but also from industry, agriculture, and hydropower sectors. This is likely to continue till the monsoon rains arrive, hopefully in the first or second week of June. So, dealing with the water shortage, there are a lot of long-term structural issues like unregulated construction, systematic destruction of lakes, hindrances to the natural underground flow of water, and climate change that affect. So, there are a few things that has been mentioned here. One is unregulated construction, systematic destruction of lakes, hindrances to the natural underground flow of water, and climate change. So these are a few issues that has been or causes that has been highlighted in this article that affect the availability of water in the Bangalore. But these do not seem to be the immediate triggers for the particular ongoing event. This one has to do largely with the seasonal fluctuation in rainfall and the state's inability to create capacities to deal with these kinds of variabilities, Mishra said. He said, while the focus has been on Bengaluru, the main urban center with a major international footprint, it was quite likely that the rural parts of the state were facing an even greater shortage. India still has not built capacity to deal with multiple year droughts, he said. We have extrapolated data going back several hundred years. We have found that the probability of 2 or 3 continuous years of drought at the national level is extremely low. But at the state level, this is very probable. In fact, quite high. We will have to become resilient to such disruptions, he said. The key, obviously, is to put value on water. It is not a free resource. Low or optimum consumption needs to be incentivized while wastage must be discouraged. How this is done is a matter of policy choice, but the use of groundwater through the use of household pumps, for example, needs to be discouraged and minimized. So, there is another important article which is relating to defamation on the same page. So, let us see this article, what it is saying. The Supreme Court last week restrained a trial court from proceeding until mid May with a criminal defamation case against Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal for retweeting a YouTube video against the BJP's IT cell in 2018. The court is hearing Kejriwal's challenge to a February 5 order of the Delhi High Court upholding the summons issued to him in the case. So, last month, a bench of Justice Sanjeev Khanna and Dipankar Datta had said that a retweet did not always mean endorsement. If it is an endorsement, then it may have its own consequences, Justice Khanna had said. The other way to look at it is you found something on the internet or the website and you are just sharing that information. So, what are the views of Delhi High Court? So, Justice Swarn Kanta Sharma of the High Court has observed that every retweet of defamatory imputation would ordinarily amount to publication under IPC section 499, and that when a public figure retweets a defamatory post, the ramifications extend far beyond a mere whisper in someone's ear. So Kejriwal had gone to High Court against two orders by Magisterial Court in July 2019 summoning him, and by a Session Court in October 2019 dismissing his revision plea against the summons. So what are the defamation in law? So defamation can be civil wrong or a criminal offense. So civil defamation can be libel through writing or slander spoken word and is punishable with a financial compensation. In criminal cases, defamation must be proven beyond reasonable doubt. So, Section 499 of the Indian Penal Code says, whoever by words either spoken or intended to be read, or by signs or by the visible representations makes or publishes any imputation concern any person intended to harm, or knowing or having reasons to believe that such imputation will harm the reputation of such person, is said to defame that person. So criminal defamation can attract a jail term of up to 2 years with or without fine under Section 500 of the IPC. So that case of Rahul Gandhi here, where he was given punishment of 2 years, after following which he was disqualified from the membership of parliament. So this is related to that, the criminal defamation. So what is the right to free speech in its 2016 ruling in Subramaniam Swamy versus Union of India? So this is an important case law. Subramaniam Swamy versus Union of India, the Supreme Court upheld the constitutionality of IPC Section 499 and 500, saying that the right to reputation, this is right to reputation, is protected under Article 21, which is protection of life and personal liberty of the Constitution, and that the criminal defamation is a reasonable restriction on the right to freedom of expression. While Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause A protects the right to speech and expression, Article 19, Clause 2 allows the state to impose reasonable restrictions on this right in interest of sovereignty and integrity of India, the security of the state, friendly relation with foreign states, public order, decency or morality, or in relation to contempt of court, defamation, or incitement to an offense. So, in its 2017 ruling in Kaushal Kishore versus Union of India, a five-judge bench of the Supreme Court said that no additional restriction can be imposed on the free speech except those under Article 19, Clause 2. The erstwhile Section 66A of the IT Act 2000 had criminalized sending offensive messages by means of a computer resource or a communication device. This provision was quashed by the Supreme Court in 2015 in the Shreya Singhal versus Union of India case, in a view of the ambiguity of the definition of the term offensive, and on the ground that the provision was violative of Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause A, and not saved under Article 19, Clause 2. So, what are the consequences of retweeting? So, does retweeting allegedly defamatory consent amount to defamation? So, senior advocate Madhavi Gordian Diwan, author of the textbook Facets of the Media Law, said an essential ingredient of the defamation is the lowering of one's reputation in the public eye. Also, the defamatory statement must be communicated to a third person. So, Diwan said that a defamatory retweet multiples quickly and reaches others, and thus the damage is far greater in case of online abuse. So, in Kejriwal's case, the Delhi High Court ruled that retweeting a content which is allegedly defamatory on the Twitter account and projecting it to be as if his own views will prima facie attract a liability under Section 499 of the IPC for the purpose of its issuance of summons. The court noted that while the petitioner may plead absence of any malicious intent in the act of retweeting, it has to consider the responsibility that accompanies the petitioner's political and social standing. The large social media following of our chief minister undoubtedly implies a wider reach, making any retweet a form of public endorsement of or acknowledgement, the High Court has said. So these are two important articles on this page. So we'll see next day's newspaper, that is March 21, very soon.